that up. I did a song about cognitive dissonance, and I didn't use that vocabulary. I just called it people don't want that real. You know what I mean? I said people don't want that real. They just say that they do. Now people don't want that real, and I'm one of them too. Yeah. I'm so easily entertained by ratchet activity, violent negative imagery always seem to interest me. I tell myself, no more music glorifying evil, selling drugs, womanizing, killing our people. Then I hear a song with a tight beat and can't deny it. The hook is catchy, so I subconsciously memorize it. Next thing you know, I'm reciting all the lyrics. And my day don't feel complete unless I hear it. Inviting darkness in my spirit, this can't be light. I'm craving what I'm supposed to be fighting, this can't be right. I must be blind to the effects, this can't be sight. Death is in the power of the tongue, and this can't be life. Be careful what you get involved with, cause you can't support a cause, but then hate the effects that it causes.
And then Nasty.
What up, Kev? Big Kev from the Itty.
Dusky bitch.
This motherfucking gabbing up. It's a new bitch ass day for you bitch ass bitches, so we about to wake you bitches up.
He said you can't support a cause and hate the effects that it's causing. That's crazy. But shit, man, it's just me and Dusky today. Feel me? Kevin got a mic. Feel me? Mind over matter type, you know what I mean? But Kevin got a mic slide in. We gonna see. Say, how you feeling today, Dusky?
Shit, I feel great, you know. Just got off of work.
Yeah.
Niggas tired, but you know.
So you gotta secure this bag right quick.
Yep.
All right, so look, what we about to react to today, Andrew Tate and Candace Owens, they sat down, they had an interview. She went over, like, you know how he under an investigation and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For he got a lot of allegations, like some crazy allegations, but he basically cleared the air on that. You know, he got a bad rep, but after watching, you know what I'm saying, I watched a full 3-hour interview, so for me, and like I never really looked into bro, like I just didn't care. Like I'll be seeing his shit, and some of his stuff I agree with, some of the stuff I didn't. But after watching this, I'm like, okay, I kind of fuck with bro. Like I don't know if he's telling the truth, but it's like the points he make is like they're valid points. For me, there are things that I can agree with.
Yeah,
so
it's just the way he be saying that people don't like it.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. Like they don't look at the message, they look at the messenger, and a lot of the times it's the delivery. Like Kevin Samuels, RIP Kevin Samuels, but he was kind of on that same thing. Like his delivery is what was throwing people off from his message. Like a lot of the times people can't really the way you say things to people, they can't really handle it for whatever reason.
People too soft. That's what it is.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I mean, shit. The shit he be saying, I believe like it's factual. The shit he be saying, but it's just the way he comes off. Like people just, I don't know. People like look at him as arrogant or cocky or whatever.
Yeah, but
yeah, I don't know too much about him, so.
I feel you. I'm kind of the same way. I know he do got some crazy ass allegations against him, and as far as that, I really don't know. Like, I don't know if he did that shit or he didn't do that shit.
Yeah,
but I know, like,
what to believe.
It for me. As far as like his opinions on or his views that we about to go over in this clip or this clip from the interview is like, okay, it's some stuff I can agree with. So, yeah, man, we could get right to it.
Thing, right? Because it's interesting to me that conservatives will sit and say, oh, materialism is bad or it's anti-Christian, etc. And I understand where there might be a point to argue there. But I tell you something, if you're completely and utterly broke, then you need the government to eat, then you're in a lot of trouble. We talk about the matrix and resisting the matrix. One of the tools to doing that is financial freedom. And that's just one of the baseline realities of it. I'm not saying you should sell your soul for money. Absolutely not.
Oh, yeah. If you want me to stop at any point and you give your 2 cents or whatever, just let me know.
And resisting the matrix, one of the tools to doing that is financial freedom. And that's just one of the baseline realities of it. I'm not saying you should sell your soul for money. Absolutely not. But if you want to truly resist the matrix as a whole, you need to have money to do it. It's pretty hard to do when you're broke. Even me as a person, if I had no money, the current situation I'm in would absolutely and utterly destroy me. I would be completely and utterly wrecked. Like, how could I pay my bills? They've taken $15 million of my money. I'm locked in my house. So you need to have a degree of financial freedom. Otherwise, you're going to end up just doing what you have to do to eat. You look at these people in England. There was a video that recently was on Twitter. I felt really sad when I saw it. It was a workman taking down the British flag and putting up the pride flag. And someone shouted at him, "Hey, bro, you're removing the wrong flag." And he goes, "I know, mate. I know."
You're taking the wrong flag down, mate. At least you know that.
Hold up. Pause.
Yeah.
Wait, what exactly is going on?
What, in this clip right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so the flag dude, he's just doing his job. Like he's not necessarily in agreement with what he's doing, but like what Andrew Tate is saying is the fact that he has to provide for his family, he has to go to work, and this is his work. You feel me? Hanging up flags. So like when his beliefs start to mix with his career, he got to choose his career because he got to provide for himself and his family. So dude recording him, he's like, you're feel me? He's trying to like chastise him, like make him feel bad. You're ripping down the wrong flag, and bro, like I know, you feel me? He's like, I gotta do my job.
Damn, that's really insane. But
Yeah, bro. He gonna I think he gonna mention it, but he like COVID. That's what happened. A lot of people was forced to get the motherfucking vaccine because like I gotta provide, I gotta keep this job.
yeah,
And then from basically what he's saying, financial freedom is very important in order to, you know what I'm saying, get away from that.
be free. Yeah.
But he had to pay the bills. He has to feed his family. What can he do? He's the flag hanger. All he can do is hang the flags. If he doesn't do it, someone else will do it. He loses his job. So if you're completely and utterly reliant on a wage or you have no money, well, now you have a new tool of enslavement. COVID was all based around that. I just got to go to work. Just get the injection. I got to wear the mask. I got to fly. Got to work. It takes a lot of money to sit down and say, no, I'm too principled. That takes money to do. So it's also interesting that conservatives want to attack materialism. Okay, perhaps I didn't have to buy a fan.
I want to say this, like that's like my whole thing. Like when it comes to STB or just trying to create a business or entrepreneurship in general, it's just because I believe in freedom, bro. I don't want to have to be dependent on some 9 to 5 or just like because at any point that shit can be gone for whatever reason. Just like when COVID came around. We remember we was working at the motherfucking Westin. COVID came and they sent niggas home like, no, y'all not working no more. Like it was like, damn, like that at any point in time that shit can happen. But if you got your own shit in place, you don't really have to worry about that.
That's facts.
Shit crazy.
Fancy car. You can get upset about that if you like. But if you're not financially free, it's also pretty difficult to stand up and tell the truth. Even if you make a lot of money, if you're reliant on, let's say, a sports team for a contract, even if you make a lot of money, if you don't have enough saved, you can't tell the truth. Even if you're rich, they're all still complaining.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, he's snapping because when you're relying on something else, you can't really say too much.
Yeah, even if you rich, even if you famous, like Kyrie Irving, for example, cuz tried to speak his views.
Ooh, that's a great example.
They for me, you dependent even. Like I don't know, it's crazy. Even the wealthy.
But the thing with Kyrie, he did it, and like he didn't really need them. Like you feel me?
Yeah.
Because he already set. I feel like that's why he like
right. And then like Kanye West, like he also somebody who didn't really need them. But just imagine a lower tier artist. Like that's the reason they don't speak out or they don't try to change the norm because they need them.
Hey, real shit, bro. I don't blame them because, like, bro, get the bag first and then talk your shit. Like,
yeah, on God.
Like, use them, and then once you good, then show your true colors.
But another thing I want to say, like, whenever it's somebody like with a big name who they try to put down, like Andrew Tate, for example, Candace Owens, Kyrie Irving, Kanye, like all them people, I always like, I don't like put them down. I always try to see shit from their perspective because if everybody putting them down, I feel like it's a reason. Like somebody wants them to be looked down upon for a certain reason. That's just how I feel. So I'd be like, I always try to at least give them the benefit of the doubt and just hear them out.
Because if everybody is against them, bro, you gotta look like deeper.
Yeah, like why? And because a lot of people they just go with the trends. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
And I feel like, bro, they be trying shit just to see how people would react, just to see if they gonna be right. Like, you feel me?
Yeah,
I be
yeah.
peeping that.
Lying and bending because they have a contract they're adhering to. It's difficult. So I don't think that if you had somebody who was trying to inspire the masculine youth of tomorrow to resist the slave mind, teaching them to be financially free would be a bad thing.
But
I think
that
it would
is
actually be a good
aspirational.
thing.
I think men need it because they view it as aspirational, and no one escapes it. I would definitely not describe my husband as materialistic at all. He likes cars. There's just something about cars that men like.
Absolutely.
Again, my son, truck, car. It's like, it's psychotic. I mean, it's such a boy. Every time he sees a truck, a car, any car
Ooh,
that looks cool. He's 2.
Yeah.
He's 2. So
So nah, I'm not gonna lie. So what they just said got me thinking. Is it materialistic if you love, like, what they talk about cars? Is that really materialistic? Like, if you
Nah,
actually, yeah, because if you actually love it, then I don't see it as, you don't look at it as a materialistic thing. You look
right.
at something like you love. You
Something
feel
you
me?
enjoy, something that
Yeah.
that makes life enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I kind of cut it out. But before this part that they talking about now, they're basically talking about how it's kind of like in men's nature to like seek material things in a way, but like not for what they were saying was like men like to show off, basically. Like how kind of how he was talking about last pod. They was basically saying how it's in men's nature to show off.
Oh,
And
that's
then
what they meant.
yeah, like with their material possessions, and Andrew Tate was saying like he might bring it up right here, but he was saying like if you want to influence the younger kids, because that's what they into, they want to see the cars and the jewelry and all that shit. Like, and if you want to really influence them, like that's how you want to pop your shit, flex.
Talk your shit, yeah.
But it's like it's really the message behind them or behind it, like that you showing them really. But yeah.
there is something ingrained in men that
Completely.
his first word was truck. You know, every time a garbage truck goes by anything, he's just like a school bus. Men like that for whatever boys like that, men like that.
It's
and I don't think we need to overthink it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's aspirational, but also if we're going to actually look at the meta point, I believe that teaching financial freedom, I think teaching financial freedom is one of the very important ways you teach people to resist the slave mind. I don't think you can resist the slave mind if you're completely and utterly broke on welfare or living paycheck to paycheck for a large corp, which is insistent on trying to install the slave programming inside of your head. I think it's very, very difficult. I actually think financial freedom is a key component to it. And I think that me standing up and showing a life that costs $50 million a year or something ridiculous, doing that on purpose and trying to inspire men to make as much money as possible is actually a very key component to the resistance to the slave mind. I don't think many people understand this, because if you teach young men how to go out there and become rich as possible, it's very difficult they can do that without learning some degree of mental fortitude, without learning how to speak to people, without learning how to network, without learning how to be competent and disciplined and motivated and work hard. And then they do all that, they have enough money so that when someone comes along and says, take this injection, they'll say, no, I don't want to take the injection. I'd rather miss the flight.
All right, so everything he's saying right there, like I agree with it, but at the same time, like I like striving for that shit is going to lead you to do all them things, become a better person. But it's like if you are too like, what's the word? If you're too
stuck in your way.
Not necessarily stuck in a way, but like I want to say just like so pressed on the goal, not having it. All right, so look, what he's talking about is the journey, learning how to speak, how to be an effective leader. That's all part of the journey. But if you're so focused on the goal that you're just neglecting everything on the way, and then you're not having that goal, it's gonna do something to your mind, and you're gonna start to like put yourself down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Because you're not embracing the journey.
Yeah, I just want to say that. So it's like,
I feel like. What were you about to say?
No, you go ahead.
And I feel like, bro, people be putting too much pressure on themselves with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. You're gonna put a lot of pressure on yourself if you're only focused on having a $50 million lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you just lock in on a journey and because that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Just like, because I know where I want to be. So now that I know where I want to be, I can focus on the journey. So like
Yeah.
learning shit along the way is the fun part. So at a certain point, I'm gonna get the goal, but it's like it matters, but at the same time, it don't, bro. The journey is equally important.
And like you could cut it down to smaller like goals. Like instead of
Yeah.
50 million, do like
Oh,
10K first, and then you feel me, like
God.
just small shit like that.
But I do agree, like you should be striving for something in life because
Yeah.
that shit make life fun. I ain't gonna beat you like because you're gonna have your low points where you struggling, but that's just as important because after you come from that, it takes you to the next level. Like it builds you turn into a beast for it. Like it breeds another level of confidence.
Yeah, on God.
So there is a key component of resistance which actually involves materialism. I'll argue that if I was exactly the same person with the same viewpoints, but I was completely and utterly flat broke, I wouldn't be able to make the same impact on the world. And I wouldn't be able to resist the programming the same because I need to eat food. So I'd actually counter argue any conservative who's complaining about my beautiful car collection of 42, not one, 42 nice cars, that having a lot of money is actually an important way to resist the matrix. I can only talk from personal experience, but the number of times, especially during COVID, for example, where I managed to not have to comply with any of the laws simply because I was loaded, I can't even name one on 10 hands. So materialism is important. I think we should be teaching, especially the young boys, especially people who understand, who want to live in a very rational world, who want to live in a world which is based on common sense and dignity and honor and respect and all the things we're trying to teach through conservatism, is that if they don't have a degree of financial stability or financial independence, they're going to end up getting wrecked anyway. They're going to work for Woke Corp. And Woke Corp's going to change its Twitter picture or X picture, whatever it's called now, to a pride flag, and they're going to be screwed anyway. So you have to be teaching to a degree financial independence. I don't know why that's seen as a bad thing. I'd actually really like to argue that point with who was complaining about my car?
I think
Who was complaining about
I think it was
one
part
of my 42 cars?
I think it was a packaged, this video and kind of showing that you're not actually good for young men.
And they wonder why they lose the culture war. Imagine sitting there telling young men, don't have a nice car like him, don't be fun like him, don't do that. Like, what planet are you people on? But in regards to the Matrix as a whole, the Matrix, I believe, and I use the term the Matrix from the movie because I think it perfectly describes the world we're in today. I believe we're living in a false reality which is projected inside of our minds, and it's designed to distract us long enough for our bodies to be abused. And the movie is for body heat. In the real world, perhaps it's for some physical labor. But I believe that we're not living in a real version of reality. I believe there are gatekeepers on the truth, the agents, who try their very best to keep us asleep. And I think the end goal is to keep us distracted long enough for our body to be utilized and then for us to die. Who is the Matrix and what is the Matrix as a whole? I have to be very careful what I say, and I don't want to get in too much trouble.
Who you trying to
but I think anybody who is first...
Nah, he just snapped though, because if everybody just was not distracted with all the distractions and shit, there would be no like the world would be a whole different. It wouldn't be the world, like the Matrix. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't know if I'm saying
kind of.
Right.
It's
like
explain it. Let me see.
So like they have to keep us distracted in order for all this shit to keep going the
To
way
continue. Yeah. But why is that though? Like,
that's a good question.
why do they need us to distract? Like what? Like what's the point though? Like that's what I don't get. Like what's the point of it?
The thing like this is how I see like humans as like we have power. Like we're very fucking like I feel like I don't know, like we're like supernatural. So I feel like if we unlock that part of us, then
the powers of that's in place, they not gonna have no. Basically, they want control over us. Like we probably got some type of like psychic ability or some shit. I feel like it has to do with attention, to be honest. And as long as they can control our attentions, they can control our next move or where they want us to go. For me. But he gonna speak on like the reason they do what they do.
But the thing is, I don't think it's it's humans that's controlling that.
Mm.
That's controlling us. Like at the top.
What you think it is? Like,
I don't know. Like I have no clue, bro.
yeah, it really ain't no way to know for real.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely like I can see that for real.
Patience enough to understand how the world works, understands that the media machine is trying very hard to keep us convinced of certain ideas, and also to keep us arguing about very unimportant ideas. So people behind the media machine who decide what goes on the news can do whatever they want to do.
Mhm.
And the things they do usually have dire consequences to all of our lives.
Right.
So I would say that the Matrix as a whole is the media machine from the projection point of view, and that the people who control the media try very hard to make sure they have ultimate control over all governments. And
Bro, that's why it's important to like shit that's trending and shit that they just putting in your face, bro. It's so important just to question it.
Question it. Yeah.
Just simply question it.
You have to. If you don't question it, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Like it just I don't know. It'd be like repetitive.
Yeah.
Just it'd be in like different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Like
the
people
same
don't
story.
they don't take the time to just think for themselves for real. Like they just accepting everything they told.
Yep.
Like how you know what you being told is true.
Exactly.
all important decisions on the planet.
I agree. I totally agree.
Welcome to the conspiracy. Welcome to the conspiracy.
Don't listen to my podcast. I'm in on like CIA documents, like, showing people it's not a conspiracy. These are declassified CIA documents. These are things that they actually did and that nobody pays attention to because it happened 60 years ago, but it's been declassified. You know, all the operations that they had, putting actual journalists under CIA pay. I mean, it's crazy. Following the death of JFK, why did they do that? Why did they suddenly feel it was necessary to have journalists on payroll following the death of a president? Who there were a lot of questions surrounding his death. So you've got the right audience with me in terms of that. I think the media is the enemy of the American people. That is why I liked Trump calling that out right away, talking about fake news.
Yeah.
She said the media is the enemy of all of us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but fucking, I don't know, bro. I ain't really into the media, bro. I really try to stay away from that shit as much as I can, bro. I can definitely see, like, bro, because our grandparents, like my grandma, my great grandma, when that COVID shit was happening, every time I went over her crib, the news was on. I'm like, bro, you be watching that shit.
That shit is depressing,
bro. And then they just like believe in everything that's coming on there. And it's like, even when I was growing up, like my mom used to say, like, yeah, you need to be watching the news. But now today, she don't even watch the news no more because she's like, it's always straight negative shit on there.
It's negative.
It's never nothing good.
Bro,
like, why would you want to watch something that's straight negative?
Bro, I be thinking about the newscasters. Like, there's no way in hell that they're good mentally. Like,
right. I know they be
no
drink. It's
Man,
crazy.
They're fucked up in the head.
What I don't understand is why anybody listens to anything they say.
I know it is
because they've been caught lying so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just because they lie on repeat over and over again to the point where people just accept it? Is it because it's cowardice and accepting that these people constantly lie to you makes you adopt a worldview, which is scary because you have to now think for yourself? I'm not sure what it is, but how after, especially the last 5 to 6 years, can you believe a word these people say to you?
Well, because if they say it enough, it becomes true. And they've been able to show that if you say something over and over again,
bro, listen to this.
To someone, they will accept it as a truth. And that was another declassified CIA experiment. It was super interesting. They put a bunch of people in the room. So let's say there's 20 people in a room, right? And 19 of them are agents, and one of them is actually the person they're testing. And they show you a picture of what is clearly a banana. And they go around the room. The last person they get to is the one that's being experimented on. Everyone else is an agent. And they say, what is this? And the first person says, apple. Apple. It's clearly a banana. Yeah. By the time they get to that 19th person who is not an agent, that person just says, it's an apple, even though it's clearly a banana. They don't even believe their own eyes anymore because they're going, okay, well, if 18 people in this room have said it's an apple, what do you see? An apple, apple, apple. And they just say apple. So there's a lot of evidence.
Bro, think about that. And then, okay, because this make me think of like history. Because we go to school and we learn certain things about the world we in and how it got to where it's at. But think about this scenario and it happens over generations. By the time it get to our current generation, we just accepting whatever we told, and we have
Bullshit.
no idea, bro. We there's no way for us to tell whether it's true or not, bro. So all we can do is just take it as true because
Believe it.
everybody else believe it's true,
Yeah.
and that's why I'd be
And it-
like, bro, we don't know shit for real.
At all.
It's crazy.
Nah, like this example right here that's like mind blowing.
Nah, for real. Like, she know it's a fucking banana, but everybody in the room says it's an apple, so
Yeah.
it's an apple now. Like, that's crazy. And that show you, I think my camera might have froze. But hold on. That show you like how our minds work for real. Like nothing really is what it is. We just kind of, yeah. I forget how you like close the motherfucking shit. But yeah, you just like nothing really is what it is. It's just what you think it is. I'm gonna play the video.
Evidence, they do it because it works, and everything around us shows you it works. We're right now debating whether or not children can pick their gender. How did we get here? This is something that you couldn't even fathom when we were in high school, that people would be saying like your little boy could be a little girl. But we're here today, and actual adults are believing this information because it's been said enough times to whatever segment of the population that they're accepting it as true. So they do it because it's been effective.
And that's why God is so important, because God is a hard line that you cannot be crossed,
Which is
right?
why you will not be libertarian.
That's why I'll not be
You will
libertarian.
not be libertarian.
That's right. No, but if you have, yeah, it's true. Because if you have faith, then there's rights and wrongs. Like you said earlier, there's sin and there's good, and there's a line that can't be crossed. And the psyop is very difficult to penetrate. And that's why in the Islamic world, for example, we have very little of these problems because it's haram. Problem solved. Haram. Next. But yeah, it's certainly scary. And I don't think people understand how evil absolute power will make a person. I don't think people understand how petty and how vindictive and how degenerate absolute power will make people. I think there's a degree of naivety in the population when you talk about the Matrix and the people who are behind the media, and they believe these people might be powerful people or rich people, but not necessarily bad people. But unfortunately, I don't think they really truly understand the reality. I had a theory that I was arguing with somebody with, and I keep using COVID because it's a perfect example of the psyop. Everybody who once believed in COVID now no longer believes, mostly all of them, which I find actually remarkable. Because when I talk about COVID now in front of 20 people, everyone's like, yeah, man, that was garbage. But during COVID, I couldn't find a single person who wouldn't wear the mask.
Isn't that that's really insane what he just said, bro. Like everybody brushed COVID off, like, yeah, it's fake. So what? Like you feel me? Like
yeah, like
that's
y'all
really
just go
crazy.
Y'all just gonna let them feel me. It's so crazy because like after like during it, it's like, damn, what can we really do? They telling us to do this, so we just gotta do it. But that's not true, bro. If everybody was just like, nah, fuck that, we not doing it, then it's no longer a thing.
Yeah. We keep it alive.
Yeah. Like the people don't really understand though. But most people don't even know. But if the masses was just like, nah, we not about to keep taking this bullshit from these people, because the people in power, it's probably not that many of them, especially not compared to all the people in America. So it's like, if we just realize what's going on and just be like, nah, fuck that shit, we're not going, shit will change like instantly. Like shit, it might get crazy for real though. Like
oh hell yeah, it's gonna get crazy, but
crazy.
After that, everything gonna be
how
it should be. But it for sure will get crazy at first.
Cause they gonna get desperate.
Yeah.
Mask. I was like, oh, I'm by myself. I got arrested in Germany. Me and Tristan got arrested, surrounded by mask wearers in handcuffs. I'm like, what the? And I guarantee if I was standing in front of those people now, they'd all be like, yeah, COVID was stupid. It's amazing how people want to flip and forget reality. So I use COVID because people were fully psyoped and now they're not psyoped. And I'm trying to wake you people up to understand something about how garbage it all is. I'm trying my very best to make people understand that the people who make the news have no interest in you being informed. Why would they make the news and broadcast it to you everywhere for you, little Mr. Nobody, to understand how the world works? Why would they care about you knowing anything that's important ever?
You're not a slave if you're knowledgeable. And that's why I always say, go back to when we had physical slavery in America. A requirement to maintain that was ensuring that slaves didn't learn how to read. That was part of the slave code. They weren't allowed to learn how to read. If you were caught teaching a slave how to read, you too, as a master, would fall victim, right? And that it was so important for them because they know that an education.
You know what that tell me, bro?
What?
That most people just dumb. Most people just, they're ignorant. That's all it is. Like most people just, because if everybody had this a certain level of knowledge, and it don't gotta be a crazy ass level of knowledge, or people actually sought to educate themselves, shit like this, they're not going to accept, or they're going to at least question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
mind can't be enslaved.
Absolutely.
So the goal of the mainstream media,
I might run that back a little bit.
slave how to read, you too, as a master, would fall victim, right? And that it was so important for them because they know that an educated mind can't be enslaved.
Absolutely.
So the goal of the mainstream media is to keep people stupid. And it is why I think that despite the fact that you admittedly say that you are not a conservative, and despite the fact that I don't think you're overtly political, none of that really matters. I think what matters now is what you will do with the platform that you have,
Completely.
what impact you will have.
Completely. And inspiring people to free think and to not believe all the slave programming which is told to them, and to not just follow lockstep with the lies that are given to them, I think in and of itself makes you a conservative, and to a degree makes you political. Unfortunately, now that's how the divide exists. If you're teaching people to think for themselves and be strong people of agency and self-respect, then you're going to be on one side of the political spectrum. And if you're teaching people to be the absolute opposite, you're going to be on the other side. And by extension, I guess I am political and I am conservative, just because I'm telling men to stand up and to be strong and to think for themselves. And that makes you resist the slave programming. And I like to believe that the conservatives themselves have resisted slave programming the most. But yeah, it's a scary world we're now living in, where things that I'm saying, which were basically completely accepted by the entire population 15 years ago, are enough to make me the most hated man in the world. But isn't that crazy? I think the things I'm saying are things that were widely accepted for a very long period of human time. I think they're the things that are still widely accepted in most of the world today. I think it's the decadence of the West that allow us to pretend these ideas and these realities don't exist. And I don't know how long we're going to last under this false reality. I don't know how long society can possibly function with the insanity that they're trying to purport on the population of the West. The fact that so many calories in the Western world, genuine calories from food and human time, is wasted discussing pronouns and trying to get somebody's pronouns correct in a sentence that they've made up, which change at random. Think of the absolute insanity of that. And how long can a society actually function with that degree of decadence and absolute asinine behavior? I don't know how long it can even function anymore. I think the West is in a lot of trouble. And it's almost like, especially certain talking points, and I find myself guilty of it as well. We talk about certain talking points which are pushed to the front. And I kind of feel like they are a mass distraction. They have to be, because they're so ridiculous. But the problem is, there's a certain percentage of the population that genuinely believe them. I would love to live in a world where they try and push the idea that a man is a woman, or that a man can change to a woman and then compete in women's sports without an advantage. I would love for them to try and push that idea, and for everybody to go, this is stupid. Next. No. But because some people believe, we have to now waste our time discussing and debunking the most obvious, hello, water is wet. We have to sit here and talk about the sky being blue for days and weeks and years almost at a time. Talk about the...
It's kind of like they constantly create something for us to bicker about, to argue about, or to pick a side about. Divide and conquer, bro.
And we eat at it like crazy.
Eat it, bro. It's like, for some people, for some reason, bro, we just love negativity, like conflict, like negativity. It's crazy. Like, we eat it up. But it'd be crazy because if you really pay attention, most people, they avoid conflict. But when somebody else is in conflict, they eat it up, bro. They just love to watch it.
Yeah, love to watch it. I swear, bro.
It's crazy.
That's really crazy. No, that's wild.
Ultimate distraction tool by the Matrix, for them to sit there and go, you know what? Let's come up with some absolute garbage and let's throw it to the front, and the smart people will fight against it, but enough dummies will disagree with it, and that will keep them distracted while we do something that matters. And I even find myself falling victim to it, because it's so necessary, because a certain subsect of the population is so dumb that they believe in. If people were all just a little bit less receptive to the slave programming, everyone would stand up and say, no, you're going to try harder than that next. And we could discuss something that actually matters. And this is the point I was going to say earlier
You trying to
about
pause it?
COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, what he just said, damn, what he just said? He just said, if,
Okay, right back.
if
People were all just a little bit less receptive to the slave programming, everyone would stand up and say, no, you're going to try harder than that next. And we could discuss something that actually
Like-
matters.
he said, if everybody would stop and say, try harder than that with the bullshit,
Mm,
and a lot of the bullshit wouldn't be bullshit.
right. It
You
would
feel
be
me?
nothing. Like they would try to give it to us. We'll blow it off, and,
Yeah.
and then it literally will be nothing. Like, but
And like, bro,
go ahead.
and like I peeped that like with myself. Like I get on Instagram or whatever, and then I see some bullshit. I just, you feel me? Because it's always some bullshit.
Bro, it's always some bullshit.
That shit never stops.
Oh God, bro. That's why I really try not to get on there. Like I try back to like I try to spend as less as minimum amount of time on there as possible, bro. And just cause a lot of times I'll get on there and I'll be scrolling and I'm like, what am I looking for, bro? Like you're not really when you doing that, you're not really you just waiting for something to come into your attention. Like
Yeah.
but if you was like
just-
really strategic and use that shit to your advantage, like I'm looking for this, I want to find this. You going from you can whatever plan or whatever you're working towards, you'll accomplish it way quicker because you actually have a goal in mind. But most people just
Yeah,
when they're mindlessly scrolling.
Oh God, and most people not seeing it as, damn, this is another distraction. Like they
Right. So
they
when
just
they just
see-
on there mindlessly scrolling and then one of them psyops come into their fucking awareness, now
They
it give
gonna
them something
believe
to do. It gives them something to talk about aside the
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And this is the point I was going to say earlier about COVID. So, COVID, I think a lot of people do not understand how petty and vindictive power can genuinely make somebody. And I had an argument with a friend of my brother about 2 or 3 years ago during COVID when you had to wear a mask when you went in the restaurant and then you sat down, you took it off and then you ate and you put it back on to go to the toilet and you took it off. And I said, I hope you understand there is someone somewhere, some billionaire on a yacht who is doing this as a compliance exercise as a joke.
I know.
As a joke. And he goes, why would you do all that just for a joke? Because if you're in charge of the entire world and you have unlimited money, what's going to make you happy? A Ferrari? You've had Ferraris your whole life. Boring. All that you care about is power, compliance. It's all funny to you. It's vindictive. It's petty. Why not? You're in charge. For the sake
It's crazy because I always ask that question, like, bro, the people in power,
Bro,
what do
that's
they
like-
do? Like, they don't care for money. They can get whatever they want. What do? They control us. It's crazy. That's what they like. I don't know. That's like their life goal to see what they can, how they can manipulate the human being.
Man, and like what he was saying about the COVID shit with the masks, bro, that was the dumbest shit in the world.
Bro,
Not like
dumbest
wearing them. I'm talking about you sit down to eat
Yeah.
and you gotta take it off just to,
Oh God. But I used to think that like when I went to a restaurant, like you gotta have a mask. Like nigga, I'm about to walk to my seat and take it off. Like what is the
Exactly.
point? Y'all is
Like,
crazy.
bro, I feel like that was the lowest that we've ever been as like humans.
Man, hey, that's that's crazy. You said that because it's kind of facts, bro. I ain't gonna beat you. And
Cause
people
that, bro,
just
that's
went with
really,
it.
man, that shit was insane.
Crazy. Bro, that's kind of scary, bro. I ain't gonna beat you. That's kind of scary, bro. If people don't like realize
And like,
right
bro,
what's going on.
it's so contradicting because like, bro, you're literally the I think it's like what you breathe out, you're not supposed to like breathe in or some shit like that. Like with a mask,
Oh, like
or
when
the carbon monoxide.
you talking about
what is
what
it,
you
carbon
breathe in through
monoxide?
the mask or like from your own body type shit.
Like you know how like you got a mask on and then
Mhm.
you breathe out and then you
Yeah.
breathe in. The
Yeah.
same shit you breathing out is
Yeah, you
what you
you,
breathing in.
put it
It's not
back
going
in.
nowhere.
Yeah. It's
They were
crazy.
saying like that's not healthy or whatever.
Right. And you gotta think
know.
like all the everything on this planet and in the fucking universe and nature, bro, is like you know what synergy is.
Yeah.
So like yeah, they work together. So us breathing in and out is vital to the fucking environment.
To the trees and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So when if they take that away, nigga, we fucking up the ecosystem.
Exactly.
It's power, compliance. It's all funny to you. It's vindictive. It's petty. Why not? You're in charge. For the same reason, if you're in charge of a big company, you're like, I want you all in at 8:45 tomorrow. Why not? It's a power play. Ego, status, respect, all the things we were talking about earlier. These people are born into massive influence. Money doesn't make them feel powerful. They've never worked for anything in their lives. Now they have a little bit of control over you. They're going to make you do some dumb so they can laugh at you. I'm telling you, it was a joke.
I say the same thing. I'm like, there's no way they're not just playing like Simon Says to see if they can actually make people abide by these things, and people keep actually abiding by them. There's no way that they're not sitting back laughing.
Bro, never forget, bro. Motherfuckers was in Kroger's, Walmart, at any store, bro. Fucking trying to get some toilet paper, fighting over toilet paper. Looking crazy, bro.
I forgot all about that, bro.
And these motherfuckers that in power probably just sitting back laughing, like, look at these stupid motherfuckers.
Toilet
paper. You go to Kroger now, it's 1,000 rows in that motherfucker. Like, it's crazy.
But what made people? I don't understand that part. Like, what made people really
get toilet paper in gym, bro? They put exactly what they're talking about. They put something on the news, in the media. It's a toilet paper shortage. You gotta get it, whatever, and people went crazy. Like, bro, I don't know, bro. It's really scary what can. I was gonna say this earlier, but it's scary where this could go if people don't really realize.
Real shit.
It's scary.
Next thing you know, they're gonna be like, it's a shortage on bitches now. Niggas gonna be kidnapped.
Oh God, bro. Or the air,
Hey,
the motherfucker. What you about to say?
If that happens, bro, I will lose it.
Nah, no cap, bro. They gonna be like, hey, the air running out. And motherfuckers. Motherfuckers just, oh no, bro. It's scary.
It's a joke.
They must be laughing because it's so preposterous.
And people don't understand that there are people in the world who have power who are literally vindictive enough to just mess with the entire populace for a joke. Mm-hmm. And I don't think people understand when you look at the Matrix as a whole, and you talk about the media machine and how it's trying to push these ideas on you, and the people behind it. The people behind it do not have any kind of genuine intention. Mm-hmm. Their intentions are absolutely and utterly selfish. They want to feel good and feel powerful no matter what it takes. Or they might have some sexual perversion. They want more transsexuals in the world, and then they decide to just create them. Who knows?
They just want less men.
Or less men.
The only thing that can stand up to evil is strong men. So
absolutely.
So however they have to do it, whether they have to push homosexuality, whether they have to push people literally making themselves eunuchs by going into the doctor and saying, chop off my penis, I don't want it anymore. But that they have to make women believe that they can be men where we can't. It all becomes a joke when there actually is a war. You realize we were never going to be able to fill that void. I think it is an attack on masculinity, which is why I do believe that raising up strong men is the number one requirement in society right now.
Is this Darwinism, do you think?
Well,
is there a Darwinist? And
that's very important, bro. Like, I think it's very important for men to be men and women to be women. But it's like, it's so fucked up now that women don't know their natural fucking instincts and men don't know their natural instincts. And like, that shit just being manipulated at this point.
But is it really their fault though?
Whose fault? Like the people?
Yeah.
It is, but it isn't.
It's like 50-50, right?
Yeah, it's like at a certain point you gotta take accountability. But I don't know, bro. It's a lot of like males operating like females, and it's a lot of females operating like males. And then you got the media that just like they influence it, like they want it to be that way, like
make it normal. Yeah.
But nah, I think that's pretty much it from this video. They get the, let me see.
Good question. Is it?
I mean, and the reason is because I actually truly respect you, Candace. You're very smart. You're very smart. And often I sit on podcasts and I just talk. But I want to actually get some feedback.
Yeah, that's about it for that. But yeah, man, it's a fucking crazy world that we living in.
Look, this is how I see it. Like, okay, 15 years ago, shit was different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now we're present time. Shit different.
Yeah.
Now think about another 15.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be thinking about that shit too. It's gonna be super different, bro. But like in what
But like
way? And
how?
yeah,
Cause like, bro, nigga, it's crazy as fuck right
it's
now. Like,
crazy. It's going, bro. And it's like there's no way for us to really know. We just gotta wait it out and see what the fuck happened. It's crazy.
I don't think another 15 gonna come.
All right. Oh, what you mean? You think the world go in?
Yeah,
Damn.
shit. If I'm being honest, I think it is. Cause this
But I
shit getting
think
out of hand.
honestly, I do think at some point the shit gonna like reset in the world. Everything gonna get wiped out. But I don't think it's gonna be soon, bro. Not yet. Not yet. I feel like it's a few 100,000 or 1,000,000 years to go type shit.
I don't know. That's shit getting crazy though. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh god. But shit, as long as people like us, the Andrew Tate and the Candace Owens, like as long as people doing their part, I feel like we got some chance, bro. Like as long as we keep educating ourselves, keep growing, keep being the best versions of ourselves, it's gonna inspire other people to do the same thing, bro. So it's like it's some hope.
Yeah, it's some hope.
It's so hope, oh god. At least at bare minimum, bro, it's gonna be the people who damn I said the people who get it, they gonna get it and they gonna move accordingly. But the other motherfuckers, they just gonna have to
Suffer.
yeah, it's gonna have to go through it. Mhm. Damn, so what would you say the most important, like, to avoid the Matrix? I feel like Matrix is kind of people. I feel like when people hear that word, they kind of get turned off. We gotta find the agenda. Let's say the agenda.
The agenda.
What's the best way to avoid the agenda? Like, what do you think?
See, that's a good question because it's all right, look, me personally, I probably would. What would I do? For one, I would get off social media and
Mhm.
the news and all that. All the people that be like pushing out distractions like this, like stories and bullshit.
Mhm.
I would cut that out. And I don't know.
Facts. Nah, that's definitely a good one, bro. Cause I noticed the less time I spend on fucking social media, the more like mental clarity that
Energy.
I have. Yeah, and
Yeah.
energy, bro. No cap. Bro, I would say to avoid the agenda, bro, you want to educate yourself for sure. Educate yourself. Cause once you educate yourself, you gonna get some money. Cause that was gonna be the next thing I would say. Get your
Yeah.
finances in order. You gonna get your money, get you some bread. You gonna know how to maneuver with your bread, like stack it, save it, all that type of shit. And just understand who you are, like, and your
That's
natural
actually that's number one.
understand who
For
you
real.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts, bro. Cause yeah, once you do that, everything else going to just fall in line for
Yeah,
real.
because even if you are like distracted, you know
You
who
know
you
when
are.
you
Like, you feel
distracted.
me?
Facts. Nah, that's
Exactly.
facts. That's
Yeah.
facts. 100. Shit, bro. Is anything else you want to let me speak on?
Hey man, get your body right.
Hey,
Get your
get
mind
your
right. Get your
mind
body
right.
right.
Get your body right. Let me get your bag right.
Get your bag right.
Say
You
yeah,
got
man.
to.
Saying we can close him out like that.
Stay down, stay up.
Oh God.
Right.
Hey, you know what's crazy? I was thinking people be saying stay down to come up. But it's really like you don't want to it's a better way to think about that. It's like stay down while you coming up. You feel me? Like cause if you stay down till to come up, you might be down forever. You feel me? Just waiting on something to happen. But stay down while you coming up. You feel me? Like hold that shit down, do what you gotta do now, and then the process just keep building yourself up. For me.
Yeah.
So stay down while you coming up, man. Stay down, stay up. Secure that bag. Let's get it.
We out.
Oh shit. Shout out Kev. Kev was in the chat. I ain't even peep.
Gang 10.
Gang. All right, we gone.
You